sun is shining, and it must have rained something fierce last night. So I am all literally, it's gonna be Gold Air Central. So we gotta get the sunglasses on, and we're all set. Wow. Only because it's happening and I can't really celebrate it, and I gotta stick to the original idea, which is that no celebrations until my next celebration will be 100 subscribers here on YouTube. That's it. I mean, I can't make it any other clearer than that. But hitting 3,000 followers on Twitter is a huge milestone, and it needs to at least be recognized that this is happening. And I had been at hovering between 300 and 400 for years. In my heyday, when I first started, when I was actively trying to get people. Before now, as I am actively trying to get followers. But when I first started out, I was actively trying to get followers, and I thought that having 800 in the first few months was an amazing amount of people. And I had never, I've never broken 1,000 before this year. And from the 800, it was 800 and change, but from the 800, it dropped almost dramatically when I left California, down to around 300 to 400. And it was a slow crawl out. And you're probably thinking, oh my God, the dates. How come the start date is like pretty much the time when you were leaving California? And it's like, yeah, it was. Twitter was a last-ditch effort for me to stay connected to everybody that I knew in California. It was my my answer to Facebook, since I didn't have connection to people on Facebook. Twitter was the thing. It was where I could get news. It was where as people's fame either grew or they started to step out of the limelight. Even crew and stuff like that I knew. Both of those things. It seemed like I was not the networking person that they were looking for anymore. So they pretty much promptly dropped pretty much everybody from California. Pretty much left. And I was down to the handful. I never dropped under 300 people, so there is that sense that things were still, I was still a part of stuff. I was still in the mix. these people who are following me. I know a lot of people say this, and it's starting to feel empty when I hear it from other people. So I just want to be sincere about it. And I want you guys to know that I can't do this without you. This is all built. Everything that I've done is all built on the support of people. Yes, you get me. That's not the question here. Like, I can't tell you how many people tell me to always be myself, always be true to myself. On what you're doing. But I can't be anything else other than that. So I wouldn't even know where to begin. I'm so complex and so crazy and so a little bit insane that how would it work if I tried to have like a dual personality or something like that? It wouldn't work out for me at all. It would be a complete, total disaster. It's the reason why I'm not an actor. It's the reason why I'm not, I can't put on airs. I don't know how to stuff my emotions and my feelings, in a box and make it go away. I will end up always pissing somebody off and always upsetting somebody. And this is where I'm going to do that right now. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay to basically try to make me feel bad because I want you to follow back. It's not okay. It's a fucking travesty that you don't. How much disrespect do you have to have for a person that you don't follow them back, even though you like them? You want them to follow you, and then you make it sound like then people make it sound like, oh, why do people leave if I don't follow them back? Because you freaking disrespected them. It's a fucking sign of disrespect. And the reason it's disrespectful, especially for me, because I don't usually follow people anyway. But the reason I think it's disrespectful is because you are saying to the person who's following you that your content is so good that you should be following me. Your ideas and the things that you're doing are so amazing that you should be following me. But what you are doing to them, you are not my mutual. And I bring this up because I didn't think the follow back was that important when I first started streaming. I didn't think that people subscribing here to YouTube was meant anything, because I'm just starting out and it doesn't really matter, and it's not what I'm doing, and that's why I'm doing everything wrong. And that was like my whole persona when I started streaming. But people telling me like, oh, I have this YouTube page, why don't you subscribe? And I go and I subscribe and I say, hey, can you give me a freaking subscribe back? Quid pro quo. Do a little, I rub your back, you rub mine. Come on. And they can't seem to bother. It's like, oh, I got what I want from you. I don't have to give you anything. So they know I can easily just take it back. One of the situations that I have right now. Is that I currently have I use Twitch for example. I currently have 67 people on Twitch following me, and I have 77 people following me here on YouTube. So we know that is. I am following hundreds of freaking sites right now. Hundreds of sites. And I should do what I'm doing. I should do what I did on Twitter. And that's basically, if you don't follow me back, you're not worth it. You're not worth it. If we can't collab, if we can't talk, if we can't do this stuff, if I'm not a mutual, why am I watching you? You know what I've said about content before. You know I've said freaking, like, especially people who play games. To me, that's like, I could Valorant, Valheim, Fall Guys, any game, Outlast, No Man's Sky, any of those games. I can pick any. You can pick any game, and there are hundreds of people playing it. League of Legends, all of it, hundreds of people playing it. Hundreds of people playing it. Even unpopular games. I'm playing retro games because they're not really seen. But there's still probably hundreds of people playing it. I'm probably not the only StarCraft. I'm probably not the only Lord of the Rings Online. I got Warcraft, you know, not WoW, regular Warcraft, Warcraft 3, that I'm ready to play. Your content is crap. Who you are is what matters. To me, well, I can't speak for everybody else. Maybe maybe what you're producing matters to somebody. Maybe that does. Maybe that's all it really is. And it's the reason why you have thousands of followers. It's the reason why, you know, or hundreds of thousands of followers or millions of followers, you know. Nuxtaku has millions of followers, and he is all content. It's one of the reasons why I really don't follow him anymore, because he's all content. Everything he does is content. He had there was a persona, there was a personality, there was all this really wonderful stuff happening with him for many, many videos, and that's one of the reasons why I liked watching his videos before. But he is in a realm that, you know, now where everything he does is content. I have a buttload of content, so nobody has that. Nobody can say, "Oh, Sean, you don't do enough." I have a buttload of content. person, the personality, the things that you do. I do the singing, I do the art, I play the games, I goof around, I talk about this, talk about things going on, I talk about the things that people tell me not to talk about. And I've done it so much that it's become, it's become pretty much what my commutes are in the morning, is to talk about the things that we're not supposed to talk about. I grew up in a household where secrets were supposed to be kept, where nobody talked about their feelings, nobody talked about what was going on with them. You kept it all in. And I was fucking miserable. Everybody talks about like their happy childhood and everything like that. You always look at the fond memories. I don't have very many. My fond memories of my childhood are fictional. If I tell a story about something really wonderful that happened to me as a child, I'm probably lying. I am definitely embellishing. I'm definitely glossing over all the good stuff, all the harsh reality that was going on to color code. Sunshine and rainbows, my freaking childhood. My childhood was miserable. I dreaded going to school every day. And this was before high school. This was before middle school. This was before parochial school. I hated school. Did not understand it. Could not fit in. It was horrible. People were always mean. And I moved to so many goddamn different schools that I was always a fucking outcast. Always trying to make new friends. That because we moved around so much has become my modus operandus. As it's the way I operated the entire time. It's how I dealt with problems, and that was my solution. When it got tough, I got going. Didn't stick around for the aftermath. Didn't stick around for try to have resolution and resolve my issues with people and stuff like that. Flight was my go-to reaction. The whole fight or flight. Flight was my motive. Was basically the way I dealt with most of my things. And some of my flight was internal. Like I would just take it all in, and I would retreat there. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I don't talk about my childhood too much. It's because it's not a pleasant place, and I have actually written stories about it. I have actually tried to put a band-aid on things, and when I realized, and it's one of the reasons why a lot of movies fall apart for me, is because when they take out the bad stuff, motivations change. When it's not a constant pressure, like somebody holding you down with their thumb, just holding you down the entire time. If you don't have that, if you can't create that feeling, it doesn't have to be exactly what I went through, but it's really difficult to get from that point to this point that I'm at right now. And I don't want people to have a eureka moment in their self-discovery. I don't want people to have this complete and total distrust of doctors, of police, of lawyers, of almost pretty much all authority. I do not even have I do have friends that I trust implicitly, but I do not have. There isn't that many, but I don't have a work environment where I think that they have my best interest in mind, even if it's aligned with theirs. My workplace is I'm under the assumption that they are there to ruin me, even at their own detriment, even in their own peril. And you know what? Most of the time I'm right about that. 5 years ago they said, "Oh, you're just paranoid, Chuck. You're just paranoid. Why would you do that? How could people be like that? I mean, you really must think the worst of these people." And I went, "Yep, I think the absolute worst. And I would love to be wrong." I even told them, I would love to be wrong. I think that these people are just absolutely abysmal, horrendous, horrible people. And I would love to be wrong. Fucking turned around and proved right. The person lost their job because of the damage that they were doing just to harm me. Just to harm me. And not out of revenge, just out of sheer spite. Mere fact that they thought that they could get away with it. It wasn't even there was no benefit to them. The entire thing, no benefit at all to them. Only the fact that they could harm me. That's the only motive I could think of. Their life was out of control, and they wanted to try to control me. They're out of control employee. You guys, you're just tired of listening to all this. They're out of control employee. And I'm not going to say I'm the easiest person to work with. I'm not going to say that in fact, I'm probably the most difficult person to work with. I complain a lot. You think I complain a lot on here? I complain a lot in life. horrible of a person do I have to be working with? And here I am. I'm talking about how horrible they are, and I am in a much better place. It's not perfect. It could definitely be better, but I'm able to help and be a part of being the best office around, and I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy to be a part of that team. Pretty much all the things that I crap on about this job are things that already happened to me, and I had to actually change. But yeah, this whole getting back to what I was actually talking about. So, how much disrespect does a person have to complain that I unfollowed them because they wouldn't follow me back? And then you're going to basically say it like it's so bad to basically want people to follow you back if you follow them. Like, that's the wrong approach. That's the reason why we're networking. And if you don't follow me back, that means we're not mutuals. And if we're not mutuals, why the hell am I bothering? Your content has to be fucking amazing in order for me to basically do that without expecting. And yes, there are a couple people like that who can get away with it. And do get away with it. With me. It's not a only thing, but more than likely it's not you. More than likely your content is pretty much average and freaking this. It's like when we talk about people's art. My mutuals, the people who are mutuals with me, their art is fucking fantastic because I'm engaged with it. These are some of the most incredible artists. Now, can somebody who's not a mutual of mine be an incredible artist? Yes. Would I follow them? No. Because they're not a mutual. I have no skin in the game. And that's a problem. And like I said, it's so freaking disrespectful. It's disrespectful beyond disrespectful. To think that you don't deserve, or you don't have to. It's entitlement too. That you don't have to do the mutually beneficial thing of following back. Just do it. It fucking takes no time at all. There's no fucking effort on your part. And who knows, you might find people you like. Instead of being holed up in your little freaking, tiny little bubble that you live in. Just follow back. And if you don't follow back, once they leave, say goodbye, good riddance, because you didn't want to follow them. So fucking disrespectful. I can't even begin to tell you how disrespectful that is. So disrespectful. It's like we're freaking animals or something like that. Like, you have to lower yourself. You have to lower yourself to be with us. Fuck you. Content's not that amazing. I don't care who the fuck you are. There is nothing, I will say this, there is nothing online. Not a single fucking thing online right now, including my stuff. And I only produce the stuff that I wanna watch. But there is nothing, not a single freaking thing online that it's worth being disrespected like that for. You know, if Iron Mouse, who I have the utmost respect for and is one of the people who does not follow me back, and I follow her, if she basically said to me, like, you aren't worth following back, she said that, I would drop her, and I would drop her now. I would never watch a single freaking thing that she's ever done again. And I would dismiss her. I would erase her from my lexicon. And if you notice how much I've talked about her, that's how important she is. She's that important to me, especially in my streaming life. But if she did something so stupid like that, gone. Because everything, that would mean everything that she's ever said, that's inspired me to be a streamer, is a lie and wrong. So yes, I expect a follow back. And if you don't, I will hang with you. If you've inspired me enough for me to follow you, I will hang with you. Or the other way, what is the most common way, is that somebody who's a mutual of mine likes you and follows you, and I basically just jumped on the bandwagon. And people like Grandpa encourage me to follow people. And it's one of the reasons, people like Grandpa is one of the reasons why I have so many people that I follow on Twitch who have no idea that I even exist. I follow hundreds of people on YouTube. Hundreds of people on YouTube. And I have 77 freaking subscribers. What does that fucking say? And YouTube's, this is a little bit different. This is a little bit harder to freaking quantify. Because I don't know all my followers. And people get away with that shit all the time. And it fucking takes nothing to subscribe. Nothing. Doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't, it's nothing. You don't have to click the notification. You don't have to have notifications on. You don't have to anything. It costs you nothing. Not a goddamn thing to subscribe to me. And if you watched any of my videos, you should have just subscribed. How difficult was that? Just subscribe. You have to beat it over your heads? Why aren't you subscribing? Hell, if I had all the people that have watched the freaking Iron Mouse video subscribe to me, man, I would have been doing really well. Just them. Just that one group. My most watched video. But nobody's fucking subscribing. Iron Mouse isn't subscribing to me. And I don't understand it. And I understand that I probably fell through the cracks where Iron Mouse is concerned, but where most people are concerned, it's like they don't even understand the situation that they're asking. You know, they don't realize like I'm putting myself in their shoes, and I understand like why they want me to follow them, but I they don't understand that I want them to follow me. It's time. I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you're having a wonderful time doing it, and you're very, very happy. And as always, if you've watched it to this part, you watched me rant all the way to this part of the entire video. Put a cool beans in the comments, or just say hi, anything. It would be really nice. I love the comments. Comments make everything worthwhile. I know that it's highly unlikely, since my last few videos, commuting videos, only have one view, and the person only watched for 20 seconds combined. So it's highly unlikely that they even got to even, you know, see not just the ending, but like even understand what I'm talking about. And like I said, it's so disconcerting. And when somebody said that they were watching the commuting videos, I was so like elated and, you know, jumping for joy, and I was feeling like going, man, this is now worth it. They just validated, you know, 70 freaking videos that I've done, and after that validation, I'm right back to where I was before. You know, looking at nobody watching me. But as always, cool beans. All right, you guys have a great day. Take care.